What is going on, everybody? Now here, happy Sunday, and we got a lot of fun stuff going on. So it's time for this week's distribution update. We are going to hit on Pokemon because there have been a bunch of spoilers coming out for 30th anniversary, and I will confirm/deny what they are. I'll talk about Digimon real quick. I don't talk about this one often, but last time I checked, the set that just came out, and obviously Southern is just picking these up. The set that just came out is actually profitable. Normally, these sets aren't super profitable, or I should say slightly negative. It's worth keeping an eye on, especially if you're running Bandai organized play. Picking up any Bandai product is going to help you with allocations in, call it 3 of the 4 distributors. So moving on, Dragon Ball. So we have the Story Booster 1. That is supposed to come out in August. For those of you who didn't see, Southern actually opened orders for that for a brief window, which I thought was weird. But Story Booster 1 is supposed to come out the first week of August. It's now pushed back to the 21st. So we do not have any allocations for that. Just wanted to mention that because I asked that question. I kind of thought it was coming out and we should have allocation, but it did get delayed by 2 weeks. Let's see, moving on. New Final Fantasy set. We'll see what happens here. Again, coming out the 7th. Again, I think there's some 15th or 25th. There's some anniversary, something coming out with Final Fantasy. We'll just click on it real quick. So it's probably worth paying attention to. Release all this. Yeah, this actually says July 31st, but here it says August 7th. So it doesn't say anything here. Yeah. Celebrates its 25th anniversary for Final Fantasy X. God damn, I'm old. Anyway. That's enough about that. Flesh and Blood. I'm clearing my throat because James White, who is the creator of Flesh and Blood, who bends over to the game piece, Timmy Army, all over the place, did an interview. I guess it was the Calling or Nationals or something like that in Vegas. He did an interview saying that they are going to remove the Fabled, the only collectible chase in the fucking game. Going forward, will be eliminated from the boxes. Game's dead. There's like 20,000 boxes in the US market. And I'll give you a quick example. So back when we had Monarch and Tales of Aria and that whole shit show, there was over 200,000 boxes printed. The majority of them are coming to the US. Japan wasn't even a market. That didn't come for like 2 years later. Today, they announced print runs, I think, up to the 100, which was 140,000 boxes. And there was only like 40,000 boxes that came to the US. So the US market is like 15 to 20% of what it was at its peak. It's dying a miserable death. Now, overseas, it's obviously grown. But these guys can't get out of their own way, which is kind of unfortunate because a lot of folks like the game. But the founder's he's just a fucking idiot. You know, he's basically turning it into Uno, where the cards are going to have no value. And even the players are bitching now because they can't sell pieces of their old deck to buy new decks because the value of the cards has plummeted so much. So anyway, I digress. That is my bashing of Flesh and Blood for the week. Godzilla card game. I did see they solicited for set 5 in Japanese. I don't know if it's coming in English. I haven't heard a whole lot about that, but it is coming in Japanese for sure. So the game is not dead, which is good. Gundam. Time to give these motherfuckers their flowers. GDO5 came out. The boxes have been as high as 250. They're sitting at 210 now. The 5 LR pluses are all $1,500 to $4,000. The set's a banger. If you don't own any Gundam, set 2, set 3, and set 4 are the sets to go after. The cases can still be had sub $1,500. They're 12-box cases, so don't be scared by the price. This anniversary set now, Wave 2, I think, is going to be relatively shortly behind Wave 1, but there's going to be so many eyes jumping into Gundam when they see the anniversary set that was $75 is now $200 to $250. You start to see a handful of $1,000 plus chase cards, even like the C pluses and stuff like that are selling for multiple hundreds of dollars. And yes, it just released, but there have been almost 3,000 boxes, including cases, that have sold on TCG Player. And the set was released 2 days ago. It is selling like a One Piece title, which is absolutely insane. And it's not just playability. There's a ton of interest for pre-release, at least at our store, for this. But there's collectors, there's investors, everybody who has bought in to what Bandai is doing and understands that, hey, it's been over 2 years of them not screwing everybody over. They've kind of proven their track record. You got to own it. Whether you like Gundam or not, you do have a new cartoon coming out. You have the live action Netflix coming out. I think there was a video game as well coming out. It'd be really, really cool if they did an RPG of this somehow. That would be awesome. But I haven't seen the cartoon in like 30 years. So either way, it's cool. But dude, you got to own it. You got to own it. You're going to miss the boat. All of these early sets, GDO1 is $425 a box now, and there's 60 boxes on TCG Player. And the sell-through is twice that in a month. Those boxes, I've mentioned before, they're going to be $500. They're probably going to be $1,000 here by the end of the year, and there's going to be a ton of money flowing into this stuff. Yeah, you got to own it. Lorcana, I just want to talk about this briefly. Looks like Attack the Vine's doing fine. The boxes are sitting at 200. We had the massive dump of product on the market. It's holding up well. Some of the chase cards are multiple thousands of dollars. So this is 2 sets in a row. And then Wilds Unknown and Attack of the Vine rewind to Winter Spell and Whispers in the Well. So 4 sets in a row, and then you have Fable before them, where they seem to have done things the right way. Fingers crossed. The next set, hopefully they don't increase the print runs. The set after that with collector boxes, hopefully they just don't pull an Asmodee and fuck everything up. Just sweet little baby Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't fuck it up. That's it. We need more viable card games, especially for us on the business side. So moving on, let's go to One Piece. So we've had a bunch of sets that have come out for order in the last couple weeks. Hopefully you get your orders in. EBO 6, EBO 5. EBO 5 was a little bit ago, but also OP 18, which is the the February 2027 set. I think I've seen a couple places, but we have not gotten allocations. Well, I should say we've gotten allocations from one distributor for OP 17. I would imagine probably this week we should get 1 or 2 of the others. We'll see. Here is my Jean-Luc Picard facepalm of the video. UVS is fucking reprinting Origins and Spirit Forged again. We got confirmation this week that the Origins reprints at least 75,000 boxes. That's not counting Asmodee North America, who I'm sure they're dumping a ton of product. Spirit Forge is only about a third of the size, so at least that's going to hold Spirit Forge. But these guys are dumping Origins again. It's to the point where it's really starting to get sickening. And I get it. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of player base. The product does churn, and the sell-through is strong, but it's only strong until it's not. And there's going to come a point in time where all of the investors that are sitting on this product, it's not me, I sell everything. Like, this stuff's at 2x my buy-in, I'm dumping it. It's a business for me. It's not a sit on investment for me. Especially indie games, new games, etc. But it's going to come a point where people get so sick and tired of these guys reprinting and smashing the price and ping-ponging, where people are like, okay, well, this has been dead money now for a year, where people are just going to lose confidence, and then they're going to stop buying the shit, and it's not going to be Origins. it's going to be your Spirit Forge. It's going to be your Unleashed. It's going to be your Vendetta, which, you know, again, the sell-through is strong. They need to have a well-defined reprint cadence. If they came out, and I believe they did say this is what by the time that set 5 comes out, which is the October set here, they're no longer reprinting Origins. If that's something that they reiterate and something they really hold to, that is going to boost the confidence of anybody who's on the investor and the collector side of the game. If they slip past that, they're fucked. So these guys don't need the money. UVS needs the money. Everybody else doesn't need the money. I'm just telling you guys, Riftbound Origins is going to get a shit pile of supply back in. I probably won't sell what I get. This might be the print that I sit on, knowing that 3 months from now is when they've told everybody and they've told the world that they're no longer going to be reprinting Origins. It's probably the wrong decision. In fact, I just contradicted my statement from 2 minutes ago. I don't know what to think at this point. I just assume every TCG company is going to print more than what the world thinks, because that is the reality of the situation, generally speaking. Let's see. Moving on to Unit Arena. These guys, I believe, just released the next list of IPs, and with the one that caught my eye was Eminence in the Shadow, I believe it is the anime that Weiss did. Worth paying attention to that. And again, if you guys haven't looked at Unit Arena, there's really not much to talk to with Weiss. If you guys haven't paid attention to Unit Arena box pricing, Chainsaw Man just came out. The boxes are like $175. The set before it was 100 Boring Girlfriends or some shit. Those boxes are at $100. Keep in mind, this is a game where the boxes are $46 or $48 a box. There's a lot of margin. Just giving you guys a heads up. Weiss, I do want to talk about this briefly. Brown Dust 2 in Japanese. I had imported about 40 cases. They sold in 5 seconds. Those things are going nuts. I mean, the cases now are selling for over $1,000. And for those of you who are not aware, it is a new case size that is only 12 boxes, half the size of the old cases, and the boxes have fewer cards in them. So in the world where the old cases were $1,000 at release, these new cases are like $500 at release. Now, obviously, Brown Dust 2 is a little bit higher because it's most likely never going to make it in English print because it is NC-17 plus. You know, it kind of makes Asher Lane and the Nikki girls look like they just left the convent. So it's interesting. But what I want to talk about is Frieren Volume 2 is about to release in Japan, which means that is probably going to be the December set for Weiss, presumably. So that's certainly something that's interesting because these now have the double signatures on the card, the double stamp signatures, not on card autos. So I think that's interesting. So yeah. Let's see. Let's talk Yu-Gi-Oh! Not much here, but I do want to mention this. Again, Chaos Origins, if you look at the price, last time I checked, the boxes were $73 to $75. So they've dumped post-release, and they have started to recover. And the sell-through on TCG Player is north of 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 boxes. It's moving. I wouldn't sleep on Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. They've made changes. My understanding is the creator who was super pro availability had passed away, unfortunately, so he's no longer with the company. So it's a little bit of a different direction, which should theoretically be a little bit more investor collector friendly in addition to player friendly. And then we have Magnificent Monsters coming out. That's going to be fucking insane. So anyway, moving on. I'm gonna do Magic first, and then we're gonna end with Pokemon because we have a lot of fun spoilers and happy stuff there. So Hobbit comes out in a couple weeks. We ran our sale for collector boosters, all blew out. I think we sold them for $699.99. Market was still north of 800, but quite honestly, it's going to come down to release. And yeah, I think it's a fair price where we're lowest on the market, I believe. But also, I try to make sure that when everybody dumps their product, the price doesn't go under, or at least materially under what we sell them at. And then the play boxes, I think we sold for $159.99. And we still have about 90 of them left. Play boxes don't sell as well in our Discord because it is more collectors and investors and less on the player side. Quite honestly, because the production value of my videos is garbage, and it's that way. So people aren't here for entertainment; they're here to learn and actually, make intelligent decisions. So a lot of the player base, it's a little bit of a different mindset, just to put it plain. So Marvel superheroes still selling well. The Jumpstart, I received Jumpstart from one of the 5 distributors last week. The second one I should get this week. The third one probably the third and fourth probably the end of this week. Last I checked, they hadn't landed yet. And then our friends north of the border, I don't know what they're doing. They're always kind of last to the show here. I don't know if they're going to do a pre-allocation, if they're going to do open order, if they're going to limit it to 24 boxes per account. I don't know. I like those guys quite a bit. Super nice people and they're super helpful. But I digress. You may disagree if you don't talk to them directly. But Marvel Commanders, there was a second wave of these that came out. I think they're out everywhere except for Southern has them. It looks like it's open order on the website, but it is not. And I think Magazine Exchange has a limitation of 3 cases per week right now. And then the play boosters are still available. Southern, everybody's pretty much loaded with these, but my understanding is there is nothing in the Wizards warehouse. So everything that's in distro is in distro. So there's probably 2.5 to 3 months of supply there. And then lastly, everybody's favorite, my favorite, the bundles got reprinted as well, or a second wave, is the beginner boxes. I love these things. We decided we were going to test the theory. And with something like beginner boxes, you have 10 unique cards. And the theory was the 10 unique cards in Marvel were going to have more value than the ones in Avatar because they had to. And Avatar, they printed to the ground. I expected Marvel to be a much tighter print run. And quite honestly, I just wanted to see what the impact on the market was if we were sitting here on a lot of them. We'll just leave it at that. It's 4 figures. 4 figures in quantity, not in value. So Avatar beginner boxes are still sitting at $25. That set's been out for 9 months. The Marvel beginner boxes are already at $26, $27. Not a whole lot listed. Now, Magazine Exchange still has some, and PhD still has some, but everybody else is sold out. So I'm super interested to see what happens there, because also, the expected value of those is still positive. It's still somewhere in the low 30s. And a lot of the rares are selling reasonably well, which is cool. And then, obviously we'll have theoretically another Marvel set in 2027. They might skip it. They might not. I tend to think they're not, but Chris Cox has made some odd comments about it. So, I initially thought it was going to be X-Men, but there is an Avengers movie next year in November. So I'm guessing the August set is going to be probably Avengers. Because X-Men does take place in Westchester, New York, not New York City, but it could be an Avengers set or something related to the movie. No different than what they did this year. Now, it was obviously Marvel superheroes, but it was very, very heavily developed around the Doctor Doom movie, which I still don't understand. I can't even watch Marvel movies at this point because they're so freaking confusing. But looking at 2027, I'm almost certain that the November set's going to be a World of Warcraft set. They did spoil a license. I don't even know if it was a company. It might have been somebody else, which was a World of Warcraft D&D crossover. And in the prepared remarks, Chris Cox made a comment about how Magic should be mentioned in the same sentence as IPs such as Pokemon, EA Sports, World of Warcraft, and Minecraft. Well, one of those four doesn't belong in its World of Warcraft because it does check the box in the fact that the IP has not been relevant for 10 years, which is pretty much the same as every single one of their universes beyond. Marvel hasn't been relevant a long time. Lord of the Rings hasn't been relevant a long time. Avatar hasn't been relevant a long time. Turtles hasn't been relevant a long time. Spider-Man, same deal. Doctor Who, never been relevant in the US. Fallout hadn't been relevant in a long time. And I don't remember if with Fallout, the set came out concurrent with the first season of the Amazon. I don't think so. I think it came out before Amazon. Either way, it checks that box. And then for the first set, my initial gut reaction was a 40K full set. But that might not be the case. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. So he did mention on the earnings call, listen to it today, finally, had a chance to do it, that I believe only one of the sets is going to be spoiled this year. Potentially BlizzCon, I think, is in September. And then the other two are going to be a 2027 spoil. So who knows? So that is what we have from Magic. Oh, we also got the Star Trek. You guys already saw the first two autos. Okay, computer, what are you doing? They did spoil the Jean-Luc Picard autograph, which is kind of a no shit. Of course, they're going to do that one. Patrick Stewart. so that was cool. Now, moving on to Pokemon, everybody's favorite set. So, a lot to unpack here. Perfect Order, Wave 2, Chaos Rising Wave 2 are all shipped. They're all done. Everybody has them. Pitch Black Wave 2, ETBs and booster bundles started to ship last week. And then I got notification from most of the distributors that they have Wave 2 booster boxes in. So those are going to ship this week as well, which means that all of the Wave 2 items are going to be caught up because we just got First Partner Collection Series 2 Wave 2. We have all of the Ascended Heroes. We just got the bundles Wave 2. So everything's caught up. Now, for those of you who haven't taken the time to look at the math, we had Perfect Order in March. May was Chaos Rising. June, July was Pitch Black. So the print facility that prints the standardized sets have only had 2 months between releases to print the product. Delta Rain comes out November 8th. There is 4 months between here and there where the primary print facility has excess capacity to either print everything for Delta Rain, print double the amount, or to reprint a lot of other SKUs and other sets. I would imagine there is a high likelihood that if they wanted to go away from waived releases, Delta Rain would be when they're doing it, but to be determined. We did just get a new wave of Prismatic Evolutions posters that started to hit distribution. So those are coming out. I knew Prismatic was getting printed on the reprint lines from the main facility. I just did not know what method of packing or what the final deliverable was going to be from distribution. It looks like it's poster collections, at least for this one. Destin Rivals ETBs continue to get dumped on Walmart, which is very, very fascinating because it's way more than usual, and we have not seen that in distribution yet. So it's certainly worth paying attention to because the price of those has gotten absolutely annihilated, which is quite honestly great to see because the price was at hand. So I did a video on this. I don't know if they're poisoning the well or trying to test what market saturation looks like on the buyer side. You know, you run everybody's balance up to the maximum and the price starts to plummet. I think Initially, the cash out servers that buy from botters were 150 in ETB. I think they're down to like 95 now. So it's getting close to the point where it's going to start to become not worthwhile for some of these guys to carry or too risky. So it's super fascinating to see what's happening there. So moving to 30th, these guys are really, really far behind on the print run for 30th anniversary, like weeks behind. They've had so many printing issues. I would imagine the second wave of a lot of these items are probably going to be slightly delayed. But worst case scenario is going to be the out SKUs, meaning the November release and the December 10 release. Probably going to be certainly wave 2 pushed out quite a bit. From those of you who saw, I just put out a video. There was a Charmander, was clearly AI generated. It's completely fake. You could see all the text at the bottom was just AI garbage. But if you look at the Mew, I did a video on this as well. The RGB, not RBG, not Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the RGB rarity, we saw the blue. That is real. That is a Mew. If you look up the artist actually has art of the Mew and the Mewtwo and the Pikachu on his personal website that he did for the set. I did a clarifying video a little bit ago. So I had mentioned that it's only in God packs. The term God pack, I was slightly corrected, was a term they used in the factory because the packs that had the Mews in, and there are 3 different iterations. There is a blue, there is a green, there is a red. I was initially told purple. That's because the one has a purple hue to it. If you saw the blue, the Mew itself is green. So it's a really cool card. But the Mew is the chase card. Those were put into packs. The packs were segregated. The card itself was not inserted in the packs on the regular line. It was inserted into packs separately that were segregated, and then the packs were inserted at approximately 1 in 10,000. So internally, they referred to them as God packs. I made the assumption that they're like God packs that we all think about, where it's 4 SIRs and the big chase. That is not the case. So that's why the pack that everybody saw that was open in Australia didn't have any chase cards or any hits except for the Mew. So that's it. There's 3 Mews. Those are the 1 in 10K. That's what we've seen. So just wanted to make a clarifying point on that because I assumed a little bit incorrectly before. So I just want to clarify that. Also had a couple folks tell me that LGSs or wholesale groups or whoever they talked to said that 30th anniversary is one and done print run. That is factually incorrect. From what I'm aware, they are printing more than enough promos to do a second print run of a lot of these SKUs. That way they don't have to go back and print the individual promos that quite honestly are a pain in the ass. So there will be more 30th anniversary coming at some point in 2027. But for now, there is a gaping hole in capacity in the main print facility. And then with 30th, they're printing 30th through November. I don't know if they're going to extend it or not to catch up on what they're short or what that looks like. Then they're going to start printing the 7.5, which if I had to guess, it's going to be the Mega Evolutions Tag Team set. That is a trademark that they filed for in Japan. That was confirmed to be TCG. Unlike the Are You With Team Rocket, which apparently ended up being a board game. One can dream. One can dream, canny. So things are just going to continue to get nuts here. Enjoy Pokemon while it's soft, because I think we're going to have 2 different worlds, right? We're going to have the standard sets where the demand's a little bit on the soft side. Quite honestly, if they come out with 1 wave of Delta Rain, regardless of how much of a banger the set is or not, I could see those prices being MSRP, maybe even a little bit lower at release, just because there's so much. There's like 850,000 booster boxes of Chaos Rising and Pitch Black printed, which is a metric ass load. That's just in English. And then you go into 2027 where they're printing in English, but they're no longer sending to Latin America. Sorry, Devastation Games, you guys are fucked. there's going to be a lot more product coming into the US. So the individual boxes or the individual standard sets are certainly going to start to correct, but the specialty sets are going to continue to be out of control. So we're going to have a little bit of a divergence in what we see with the sets. This is just, it's kind of my prediction here. Really the first time I've said it on camera, but I've been thinking about it for a while, which is going to be good because the standard sets are going to be affordable again. And the specialty sets are going to be expensive, which is kind of what you want. So we're in a really good spot right now. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want reprint information on Magic the Gathering, I am most likely not going to mention much of anything unless it's something that happened that week in my videos. It's just the information is too valuable. I'm just going to share it in Discord. So anyway, guys, have a great Sunday, and we'll talk next week.